Hey, Tony Gaskins here, popping in. Quick little video. Not wanting to talk about this because Deion Sanders sold out Colorado University season tickets. Now, when you think about that, I want you to understand something. This is what you got to understand. And this is proof of this fact. Because when you do this math, if you go and you multiply tens of thousands times hundreds, it's gonna be millions of dollars made every game. They could touch 10 million a game. Now, if you play 5 games there, 7 games, 50 million, 70 million. But what you have to realize is this is the first time in history they've ever sold out. And they in existence and doing good. So now they finna have abundance. They finna have a surplus. And here's the thing. Any school that would have brought Deion Sanders in would have did the same thing. Some schools probably already sell out, so they ain't have no room to do more. But any school that would have brought him in would have done the same thing, just because of the elements, all of the components of what makes him him. It makes him a marketing dynamo. It's very rare. It's very, very, very rare. That's not gonna be done. He is the school. Like, he is the culture. Like, the name Colorado will become synonymous with Deion Sanders. Like, people won't be able to think about that university without thinking about him. Whereas in other places, like the University of Miami, University of Florida, Florida State. Now, Alabama gonna be associated with their coach. You gonna think of that. But even like Georgia, who been winning, I don't even know the coach name. And that just goes to show you. And I played college football, played all my life. But some coaches, they're not polarizing figures like Deion Sanders. And in certain cases, and just to bring this down to an everyday level, what I want you to understand is 9 out of 10 times, whatever you offer, you worth at least 3 times more. So you got to remember that when you're going on a job, when you're going to do you a deal, 9 out of 10 times, whatever you offer, you worth 3 times more. Now, you can't just get that 3 times right out the gate. You come in and you show that you worth 3 times more. But now on that next contract, that next contract, hey, they got to pay up on a whole nother level. And you can't just be comfortable with what you got first time around. You can't be comfortable with that first time around. And I'm going to tell you, almost every contract that I get, that offer that they give me, pretty much get double. Some of them got triple, some of them got more than they're about quadruple. Because people not gonna offer you what you worth. They're gonna offer you what they think you could take, what they think you'll take. But people in business to make money. So they're not gonna offer you something that they feel like they're gonna have to break even. And they're not gonna tell you how much they know you're worth. They ain't gonna tell you that. And here's the thing. People can see in you what you can't see in yourself. And yeah, you can see it, but not on that level. Because even Deion, he very confident. Very, very confident. But he posted a video, I think it was, where he said, they said, hey, make sure you let the people know that we sold out. And he said, okay, yeah, I'm gonna let him. Now, he could have been playing humble. He could have been, He could have been acting. He could have knew that he was gonna sell it out, or hoped that he would sell it out. But I don't think anybody in their right mind, if they got a healthy mind and healthy conscience, would assume that they would sell out an entire arena, stadium, several months before it even happens, anything even happens there. Like, their first game is not until the fall, and it's sold out in April. So no matter how much confidence Deion got, God gonna do above and beyond. And I think this shocked even him. And he presents as one of the most confident individuals you ever gonna meet. And he very straightforward and real. And he's earned the right to be, because he done put up or shut up in every area of his life. And so what I want you to think about is, relate this to yourself. Because when you do what you do, in your unique gifting and calling, you worth more than what you think. But here's the thing, it's always good, because see, sometimes we can overinflate ourselves. We come in too high and we lose the opportunity. It's always good, do that first job for what you offer, or for what you know you'll be comfortable with. But after that, after you go in and you show up and you do you, hey, yeah, you gonna have to have a little more ink in that pen when you write that check this time. Come on now, hey, if Deion stay, because this is the thing. And what I want you to think about too is, and no offense to nobody else, but I want you to also think about the black dollar. I remember talking to production companies and telling them, I was pitching shows, and I say, listen, the guys who get this right, the company that get this right, they're gonna eat like kings. I say, because anything black people get behind, it's finna go over the top. Whatever clothing line, think about this now, whatever president black people support, that's who win the presidency. Oh, well, what about when Trump won? They ain't gonna release all them numbers now, but it's a lot of brothers and sisters got in that booth. Trump, and just ain't tell nobody at the barbecue. Yeah, I know people personally voted for Trump, and Black is all outdoors, but voted for Trump. Even though we know his apartments won't let you get in there. You can't get no apartment at Trump Tower. But hey, he got that vote though. And so listen to me. When you look at a clothing line, I'm in I got property in the drop capital. When I say drop capital, I'm talking about taxes. I'm talking about tax drops, the fraud. Got property in the drop capital. So, drop capital of the world. Most tax fraud done than anywhere else in the country. We got a Gucci store in the mall that's the size of your living room. That Gucci store, because of African Americans, set a national record. They don't even sell clothes like that. Like, they really don't even have clothes. They got shoes and bags and wallets. So, like, if you go to the Gucci in, like, New York, It's a whole clothing store. It's a lot of clothes. You go to Gucci, LA, Las Vegas, it's all kind of clothes. Gucci set a record. Alexa, stop playing music. Gonna get mine. Get me no copyright strike. Set a record in the place. Now listen to me now. Listen to me. I went in there, the man say we #1 in the country. I say, how in the world you #1 in the country and you ain't even got no clothes in here? He say, yeah, it just, he say, well, whatever happened that had all these people coming in here. I say, yeah, that's them drops. So listen to me. Anything black people get behind, it's gonna go through the roof. And so here's the thing. It's two sides of it. I say, okay, I'm gonna sit down and do a little bit of this math. I say, I think they saying they paying Deion like $5 million or $7 million. Listen, if you sell out Colorado, like, don't nobody even know nothing about Colorado football. Like, I don't think people understand. No, people don't understand. It's different if he went to a school that hadn't been great even 20 years ago. Like if he went to the University of Miami and sold that out, it wouldn't have been all that shocking. But this is like him going to Colorado and selling it out this far in advance. It's basically like having snow in Satan's house. That's basically about what it is. Like, had he sold it out August 1st, it's still unbelievable. Like, to sell it out, it's still unbelievable. And I wanted to go out there and get me a ticket. I ain't even got no ticket. I ain't even get no ticket. And so, here's the thing. To sell it out in April, and we don't know if it's been sold out a couple weeks, and they just was waiting for everything to just calculate and clear before it went on down the chain and got down to the coaching staff. So what that let me know is they done robbed the bank. What that let me know, he's single-handedly pushing them into a whole nother tax bracket, and they ain't pay them enough. But what it also let me know is if he stay there, they gonna have a check to cut that we may see a black man in college football become the highest paid college football coach in college football. And that speaks to several things. One of the things is that it speaks to is the first will be last and the last will be first. So when you see somebody who come from little Podunk City in Florida, who talk like you, your cousin, your uncle, your auntie, walk like, act like, feel like, look like, and go from nothing to all of that there. And you see this happening in different industries. You see it with we got neurosurgeons. We got world changers, life coaches, football coaches, other coaches. You gotta at some point start to believe in your ability to achieve. You gotta start to believe in the fact that you can be more and do more, achieve more, have more, go further. and start to walk in strength, knowing the power that's operating through you, knowing who called you, knowing who sent you, knowing that you worth more than what people trying to say you are. And I ain't talking about Deion in this situation, because he got a lot of money. They paying him a lot of money, so it could be equivalent, and they got to make money themselves. But I think they're gonna have to pay him more on this next one. But I'm gonna be pulling these lessons from real life and stuff that's happening out there that we can apply in our everyday life, because sometimes we are a microcosm of what's happening on the macro. We the micro or the macro, and you got to be able to look at that and say, you know what? Well, am I the Deion Sanders on my job? Am I the Deion Sanders in my industry, like in what I do? Like, hold on, hold on, I need to check. I need to know. And so listen, and you'll be able to tell if you got that oil on you. So listen to me. Pay attention to this and start to look at this here power that you see out here moving, that you see happening. And it ain't just in this instance now. So I want you to look around and you start to see greatness. And so let this affect the way you raise your children. Let this affect the way you speak into the life of your nieces and your nephews, your cousins, your brothers, your uncles, your sisters, your aunties, your mamas, your daddy, everybody. Like, let this affect the way you see yourself and the way you move and the way you speak life into people who the world has made them feel like they nothing. The world has made them feel like or think or act like or look like they nothing. Let that be understood. And get a lesson. Start pulling a lesson. And don't just look at it like, oh, that's just for one person over there. No, God has no respect of persons. So if you get aligned, you get in position, and you're going to walk in confidence, and you're going to walk in strength and boldness, you could be blessed by the best. Hey, this Tony Gaskin. God bless you. We'll talk soon.